There's like half a dozen people down there fishing. Interesting. They do got a great Subway here if you want something that's kind of halfway healthy. I don't eat there anymore because I lost all my weight. You can look at my playlist. I lost a lot of weight. So I don't eat processed meats. I don't eat breads. I don't eat cheese as much, mayonnaise, not. Just don't eat them anymore. So there's no point in me going to Subway anymore. Let me get out and look around here. Someone living in a van. I've never seen that before. There's the bridge. It's one of the coolest bridges on the Oregon coast. It's long. It's one of the longest bridges on the Oregon coast. Yep, that's right, good buddy. Someone down here salmon fishing. A couple guys way over there salmon fishing. Well, you won't go hungry here. You get some free wild berries, Oregon berries. A couple young kids salmon fishing off the point there. I was actually going to go in here today. I've been in here a dozen times, but if you ever come here through Waldport, stop at the historic Alsea Bay Bridge Interpretive Center. It's got like all the bridges on the Oregon coast on it. That guy's a security guard with the violin. Yeah, this is it looks pretty cool, huh? Those people walked by me and saw me making a video talking. And I told them, I said, I wasn't talking to myself. They started laughing. There's a duck right there, just sitting on the beach, a duck. Quack, 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 quack. Quack, 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 quack. I'm a professional duck speaker. They catch more crab here in this bay. You couldn't count the millions of crab they caught here in the last 30 years. I'm really into bridge design. I mean, you know, living on the Oregon coast, just looking at the different bridges from Astoria down to south of Brookings. I've seen them all. They're just so beautiful. Hey, what are you doing? Aren't you supposed to be out in the water swimming around? I like the designs on this. I think this used to be in, well, they used to switch them around, but then they ran out of, you know, free money, but now they pretty much stay in place. They used to switch them from town to town. It was a great idea, but then the funds run out, you know. This is one of my favorite because it's got this whale on it. And I love this whale. Okay, all right. Okay, say cheese, smile. In memory of these people, look at this. This person was born in 1911. This person was born in 1915. Her middle name was Olive, Mary Olive Harding. That totally sounds like an Old West name. Born 1915, died in 1990, so she lived to be 84 years old. It's a long time for back then. That's what's happening to America. They're trying to shut out all the homeless people. They're like, we do not want you to use the water. Even though you pay the taxes for the water, we do not want you to use the water. Here's another issue with America. They put up all these bike lock things, except nobody ever rides a bike. Well, less than 1% of the population rides a bike every day. And I wonder how many billions of dollars this cost all over America, and nobody rides a bike unless you're at a college or something, or a big city. One more last look at your beautiful bridge there. That's funny, I'm looking at a sign here. It says no overnight parking or camping. There's a whole line of homeless people parking and camping overnight. That's really funny. There's another homeless guy. At least he loves America. One thing I've learned about America, there are millions and millions and millions of different personalities. Your personality is different than mine and vice versa, and we're both different than the guy down the road and vice versa. And everybody's personality, the key is to get along with everyone. The problem in America is you now want everyone to be just like you. I was wondering how much this maroon 4x4 was. It's been here for 2 months, 3 months. It's from Montana. It's probably shot. I'm not even gonna stop. If it's from Montana, that's going up and down hills, all the mountains, and somehow they moved out here and now they want to sell it. And it's probably got like, 3,000 miles left in it before it blows up. I don't know. You got to be very, very careful. I would never buy a used vehicle today if I didn't know the person who owned it, or I gave my mechanic $200 to check it out for 2 hours and tell me what's up with the engine, the transmission, and the brakes. The engine, the transmission, the brakes, and the front end. That's what's going to cost you a ton of money. Look at that kayak. Everybody's into kayak. I declare 2025 as the year of the kayak. Everywhere I go, people went out and bought those inexpensive $500 kayaks at the Walmart. And they're having fun. Oh, they're having a lot of fun. And it's something you can keep for 10 or 15 years. So it's only going to cost you like $35 a year in the long run. And it's a great way to teach your kids how to handle the water. There's not much in this town, but I think it's around 5,000 now. Suppose I could drive up the bridge and look at the population number again. Or just look it up on Google. Waldport, Oregon. You Google population of Waldport, Oregon. Then you'll know. It's small. I live in Florence, so that's 10,000 in the city limits. Probably 20,000 surrounding the whole area. You go down to Waldport, it's about 5,000. Now you go down to Brookings, they're the fastest growing town on the Oregon coast. They have been for like 5 years. They used to be like 3,000, now they're like pushing 7,000. You better have a lot of money, or you better have your own trailer to live in. Because it's hard to find a place in these, down in Brookings to live. Well, you couldn't find a really expensive apartment for under like $1,400, $1,500 a month. And it's not because it's an expensive place to live, it's because of availability. There's no apartments available, so they can charge more. They do have a Dollar General here, which is not a Dollar Tree. Even Dollar Tree isn't $1 anymore. You go in there, you find $5 or $6 items in a Dollar Tree. I never thought I'd see the day. But a Dollar General is mostly $5 and $6 items, $12 items. And then a Family Dollar, which almost went out of business, but Dollar Tree bought them all and saved them for $1 billion. Then they sold them just recently for $2 or $3 billion. And somebody else bought them, and now they're going to try to make them go, but they can't go because you can't get the supply line out of China with the cheap products. You have to be tapped into China to buy cheap products to put in these stores. You gotta fill up 800 stores. So every time you buy a new product, you need 800 stores. So really, you need 1,000. But you gotta have 10 products for each, store. Not different products, 10 of the same on one peg. I know, I used to work in a lot of these places. So every time you order a product, you got 1,000 stores and you order 100 of each product. So you got to order 100,000 sets of pencils, for example. And in each store, there's 250,000 items. You wouldn't think so, but there are. Because I've done inventory in one of the stores before. And at a Dollar Tree, I don't know if you know this, I'm telling you the truth, I know a lot about that place. They make an average after salaries, CEO money, all the people that go to Japan and China and get all the products, and all their salesmen and all their district managers, store managers, assistant managers, employees, truck drivers, warehouse, land, taxes, everything. They make a profit of 3 cents per item on average. You say, well, no, they charge more now. It's the same. They have to pay inflation too. They have to pay tariffs. That's why they have to start charging $3 for some of the products, because they no longer can get that product for 97 cents. They make an average. So you go into a grocery store like a Safeway or Fred Meyer or even a Walmart for the groceries, the food part. A grocery store averages 2 or 3% profit out of whatever the sales are. And most people just don't believe it. The same with gasoline. But if you do 14 million in sales at a grocery store, you make 2 to 3% off $14 million. That's profit after everything. Look at that dog right there. What a cute dog. So then you have, these people are fishing down there. Or eating lunch. There's 2 great places to eat lunch down here. One is the bar I just passed. You don't want to go to the bar, you can go to this little Dairy Queen thing. It's not even open. I hope they didn't close for good. They might have closed. And so when you go to a gas station, it doesn't matter. A gas station makes 3 cents profit a gallon. You say, oh, the oil companies are ripping us off. Well, in some areas they might be, but some states the local tax is higher. Some places have a local gas tax. I don't even know how any of that's legal. But it is America, the land of the overworked. So then you go, look at all those campers way down there. That's the expensive place to camp down there. That's probably $2,000 a month on the river, or $1,500, $1,800. Look at that cowboy hat. He's a good old boy right there. He likes wearing his cowboy hat to his job. That's cool. I like that. I like seeing a good old country boy in a straw hat doing hard work. That's what makes a lot of places run. Oh yeah. It's fantastic. Now the gas stations make all their money inside the convenience store. Now a convenience store is not a grocery store. A convenience store makes a much higher profit, 9% profit. Like a 7-Eleven makes a much higher profit than 3%, say. But you go into this this Dollar General store, where the items are much higher, they probably make 4% profit is all. Like 1% more than Dollar Tree. Right there, see? You think, how are these places surviving? They barely are. You would be amazed at how close the economy is to collapsing right now. What is an economy? An economy is built up of corporations. They got thousands of stores in America like McDonald's. And employees getting paid to go home and make the economy go. That's it. That's what an economy is. And when people stop buying stuff, those corporations cut back 25%. The employees get 25% less money, and then the economy goes into a downward tailspin, goes into downward, and then you have a recession, then a Great Recession, and then a depression. And then a Great Depression is the fourth stage. A Great Depression is basically when the government doesn't even know how to fix it, it's so bad. Right now, we're almost in a recession. Almost. We are almost in a recession. That girl came right out on the road on her bike. I mean, right out, a third right in front of me. Whenever I see a bike, I try to get over, but I couldn't get over here, so I put on my four-ways. And I go really slow, you know. You never know what someone's going to do on a bicycle. So we're in almost a recession now in about a third of the states in the United States. And if they don't turn it around quick, well, by spring, we'll be in a recession. Around Easter. And then we'll see what happens after that. Because this has been a very bad year as far as the economy is concerned. But if you work for the current administration, the government, they're going to tell you that it's been one of the best years in the history of the United States. And it's just not true. Just look at the numbers. It's not true.